Today's lesson is stay on track. Has it become more easier to be negative or positive? Has it become more easier to be negative or positive? There are some things that I want to talk to you about this month. We're going to be talking about staying on track. I found in our society, in our world, in our families, that so many people are off track. There's a lot of things happening that I feel like from my heart I really need to talk about to get us back on track. So today I'm going to be talking about a couple of things, but the main lesson today is, have we become more used to being more negative than positive and focusing on negative things than on positive things? I want to remind you of some things. I think some people have forgotten what their purpose is. I think that some people have forgotten what they were put here to do. They forgot what direction they're going in. They've sort of gotten lost. They're searching for something that they have not found. I want to ask you, do you know what your purpose is? Do you know what it is that you've been called to do? Do you know what it is that you're supposed to be doing on your job, with your families, in your marriages, with your kids? Do you know what your purpose is? Do you know whose you are? I want to ask you that question because when you answer those questions for yourself, it will give you more direction because I need you to stay on track. But before I get ahead of myself, I want to give you a little bit of lesson today about negative thinking and negative biases. Negative thinking can distort, meaning it can sway the way you think about things. There's something called negative bias, which means you're biased towards negative thinking and negativity. So it seeps into your life. Everything about you and your situation, it gets into that situation and makes it seem worse. It can get into your situation and make that situation seem like it's way worse than it is. It gets into your relationships. It makes you think that something's wrong with your husband or your wife or your kids or your coworkers. It gets even into you and you start to doubt yourself. You start to question, who am I? You start to question yourself. Am I a good person? Am I smart enough? Can I do this? Can I apply for that job? It gets into your life everywhere. Okay, that's one thing I want to talk to you about. A negative bias, misinterpreting reality. Another thing that also comes with that is a poisoning of the mind, but also a paranoia. There's this form of paranoia that exists with negative biases where people start to feel like it's in everything. So they start to feel like everyone's against them. They start to feel like it's on their job, it's in their family, that nothing's going to work out. I don't want to talk about where that can lead, but we know that that doesn't lead anywhere positive. Again, negative bias. When you let negativity take control, you even select friends who have a negative bias. Their twisted thinking agrees with your twisted thinking. And then you start to think how screwed up your life is, and they agree with you. So you start thinking, well, how can we both be wrong? I want to tell you that you are, okay? It's extremely hard to be around negative people. I don't know if you know someone in your friends or your family circle that might be a little bit negative. It's really hard. You say, how is your day? They say, fine. You say, wow, the sun is beautiful. They say, what's so beautiful about it? You say, good morning. Hope you have a great day. They say, what's so great about it? It's really hard to be around those kind of people. And then on the flip side of that, you have people who hate to really see you coming. I always tell people, I see people that, when they see me, they really hate to see me coming. When you have that big old smile and you're walking with confidence, some people look at you and want to go the other way. Don't you stop being you. The good news is that it's not all real. Some of that negative thinking and those biases is not all real. Some of it is made up. I want you to know that sometimes we automatically attach that negativity to everything that we do, to every event, but it's not real. It doesn't have to be that way. Negative thinking is easy. It's the easy way out. But positive thinking and being a positive person, it's really hard. I'm not going to lie to you, but it is doable. I want you to know that. I want you to choose yes today to changing your life. Wherever you're sitting, wherever you're standing, wherever you are right now, I want you to choose yes to changing your thinking. It's not going to be easy. There are going to be times when you want to give up. There are going to be times when people tell you, why are you doing that? Why are you trying to be a good person? Why are you on that road? I want you to ignore them. I want you to keep doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing, okay? It's not going to be easy. Sometimes you're going to question yourself. Why do I keep being a good person? Why do I keep going in this direction? Why do I even keep trying? I want you to keep trying because it's worth it, because you are worth it, and it's important for you to have a good life. Changing your thinking, changing your mindset will give you a better quality of life. It will increase your happiness. It will help you with confidence. It will change your relationships. It will help you in your life. Negative thinkers, it's their job almost. It's like their job to point out all the negative things about life. And it's so many more of them than it is of positive thinkers, or I should say healthy thinkers, okay? There's a quote by Ralph Marston that says, being positive in a negative situation is not naive. It's leadership. I know many of you have been told, why are you being so positive? You're so naive. You don't understand. It's not that I'm naive. I see the problems of the world. I see the things that are going on around me. But I consider it leadership to be able to rise above it and still do the things that I've been called to do. And I want you to be able to do the same thing. So I'm going to leave you with some healthy thinking tips. The first one is savor the good stuff. You know, our research shows in neuroscience that many times we really get caught up in the negativity. And once negativity or negative things happen in our life, we hold on to it. We just, we get all into it. Positive things, we let it go by. I want you to focus on those positive things. Keep a journal. Just savor them, okay? Number 2, express gratitude. Be thankful for the things that you have going on in your life, okay? Write it down so you can come back and remember it. Number 3, tune out for a while. Don't watch the news all the time. Don't pay attention to all the negativity. Sometimes just tune out for a week. 4th and lastly, make accurate judgments. Make sure it is accurate what you're thinking and that that person really meant what they said, or that text message, that phone call, or whatever. Make sure that you're really thinking clearly before you respond to things. Those are things that I want you to think about this week. So as you have this great journey ahead of you, I need you to stay on track. As I speak into your life today, I want to ask you and leave you with this question: who will you be today? Thank you so much for watching. It's life-changing. Welcome to the show, Miss Beverly Rogers.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so happy that you could be here with us. When I heard about your story, I really wanted to be a part of you sharing the story with our audience. I really wanted you to be here with me, so I'm super happy that you could join me and share this information. Something that's so, I think, sweet and so awesome and so amazing. And so since I think it's amazing, how about we tell you a little bit about it too, okay? But first, before we do that, tell us a little bit about you.
So my name is Beverly Rogers. I was born in Grenada.
Okay.
That's the Caribbean.
Okay.
I am retired Navy.
Wonderful.
And I am currently a full-time student
Okay.
at Old Dominion University.
Awesome. You go, girl. Okay. Military and a student. That's awesome. So I'm super happy for you. But I know that there's something also really close to your heart too. I know I'm familiar with some types of adoption, some things that are going on, that type of thing, but I want you to tell me a little bit more about the international adoption process. But before you even do that, I want to hear, I guess, a little bit about this little girl.
Okay, so Sarabella is a little girl. She's from Grenada.
Okay.
And her parents will not be able to afford to take care of her, basically.
Okay.
Her mom is pretty young, and she herself still lives at home with her parents
Okay.
and other siblings.
Okay.
So I wanted to give her the opportunity to grow up in an environment where she can choose and she can have opportunities to do stuff for herself, to better herself, because Grenada is a developing country.
Okay.
And a lot of the opportunities that we have, it's just not there for them.
Okay. Okay. And I know one of the things you were telling me as far as opportunities for education, you were sharing a little bit about sort of the process of life and sort of the goals and the dreams that we think about here. It's a little bit different there. How so?
Well, pretty much people go to junior high and then high school,
Okay.
which takes about 10 years.
Okay.
And most people really can't afford to go to college after that. So pretty much after high school, they're looking for jobs.
Wow.
And as a developing country, there aren't that many jobs out there for them.
Okay.
So unfortunately, many of these young people find themselves pretty much jobless.
Okay.
And then jobless becomes hopeless.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they become young parents, and it adds like an extra burden to that family.
Okay.
So, the dreams that we have as far as going to school, working hard, setting goals, achieving those goals, they really don't have that because, they can dream,
Exactly.
but they're probably not going to see it happen.
Okay. So it's not a lot ballet class, dance class,
Oh, no.
soccer after school, all the things that some parents are like, I'm so sick and tired of running this child all over Virginia Beach or wherever. You know, they don't have those opportunities. One of the other things I found interesting was that, you know, you were saying they don't have like a welfare system or an assistance type of system where if you're in trouble, if you're having financial problems, they don't have that there.
No.
If you're poor, you're poor.
If you're poor, and you just kind of make do with what you have or just do without.
Wow. Okay. And one of the things that I loved was you just talking about the opportunity that you wanted to be able to give to Sarabella was opportunities for an education, just for a better life, to grow up in a family where she feels loved and those type of things, which is important for every child. Every child really should have, but it's not always possible in that country.
Right. So definitely. It's kind of unimaginable to think of a child growing up. For example, if I'm not able to adopt this child, she's probably going to go to one of the institutional homes that they have in Grenada. And with resources scarce everywhere, she's basically going to have the bare minimum in that home.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of children go to the homes, but they don't get adopted.
Wow.
So they just kind of age out, and then they're forced to live the place. And then it's like, where do you go from there?
And probably like here, a lot of children end up probably homeless, you know, or in trouble and those type of things. So I understand you're doing something about this. One of the things that you've set up is a GoFundMe account. So how can people support you through the GoFundMe account?
So you just go to GoFundMe.com, the official website, and you do /7V3MYSYS.
Okay.
And that will lead you to my campaign on the GoFundMe site.
Okay.
And once you get on there, you can pretty much read about Sarabella and myself, and you will see a lot of the cost that's associated with international adoption.
Yes, it's not cheap.
So,
okay. I think what you're doing is amazing. I hope that you're able to actually bring her home and so that she can become your little girl and so that she can have the education, the freedom, the choices that our children here in America have. And so I hope that this helps you. Again, you can go and see Miss Beverly Rogers at her GoFundMe account again, and you can replay this so that you can hear her information again. But if people need more information, they want to contact you, how can they get in touch with you?
well, they can contact me at my personal email, which is BeverlyRogers7@gmail.com.
Okay, and that's Beverly, I learned, BeverleyRogers, ROGERS7@gmail.com, okay? And so is there anything else you want them to know about Sarabella?
I just want them to know that Sarabella, if I have the opportunity to be able to adopt her and give her the home and give her the support, the love, the care, the motivation.
Yeah.
My life itself is pretty inspiring as it is, so I can be a role model to her, most definitely.
I think you can.
And I think she can dream big and go far.
I think so. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you've been inspired by the story. I hope you will go to the GoFundMe account and help Ms. Rogers to bring Sarabella home. Thank you so much again for being here and for inspiring all of us to continue to do great things. There's still some good. There's still some good in us. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Give her a hand. We'll be right back. It's now time for our community resources. Please welcome to the show, Miss Robin
Broadway.
Broadway.
Yes.
Okay, I always want to say Broadway. Miss Robin Broadway. Give her a hand. I'm so excited to have you on the show.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I think you're a wealth of information, so I'm excited for what you're going to share today. So thank you really for being here and what you're about to share. Now tell me a little bit about your background, because I really want people to know sort of, you know, why I chose you to come on the show and speak about the topic that we're going to talk about today.
Well, I am currently a special education teacher in Chesapeake Public Schools.
Okay.
And I'm also the mother of a special needs child. So
Yes.
I share a unique perspective.
Yes.
When we're talking about education and the IEP process and children not being left behind and that free and appropriate education.
Yes.
So I kind of have both sides of the coin.
And your son is 18 now?
He's 18, yes.
Yes, so
he
you
just graduated from high school.
Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations to you. Okay, in 18 years, that gives you a lot more experience than being in the school system.
It does, yes.
It really does. So one of the reasons that I wanted you to come here today, obviously with school happening, a lot of people are unaware of the IEP process. A lot of people are unaware of the resources that are available at the school. And I wanted to bring someone in that could shed some light on some of the things with school just starting. So tell us a little bit about those challenges that are happening around the IEP process, what you want parents to know. As a parent, as an educator, what are some of those things that seem to be like slipping between the cracks?
One of the major things with IEPs and when it comes to our students is it's a legal and binding contract.
Okay.
And most of the time when we say that, it turns it into a legal battle. Okay. And it doesn't have to be a legal battle. It is an individual education plan for your student. And so you have to keep in mind that it's student-centered.
Yes,
it's not about trying to make your school system do the things that you want done. It's about making sure that your child has the free and appropriate education that is afforded to them.
Yes, and the resources
that are necessary. There's a lot of stigma, a lot of negativity that goes along with parents because it's a cumbersome process.
Okay.
But there are tons and tons of books in the store. There's tons of information on the websites about the IEP process and the parts and roles that parents play.
Now, I understand with this individualized education plan, and I come from the side of the mental health side, so I know that around that table, typically, it is a mental health person, there is the school officials, should be the parent, it has to be, right? All, again, student-centered for the student. However, it doesn't always, even though you said it's legally binding, it doesn't seem like the things that are set in the IEP are always getting done.
When that occurs, that's time for you to go back to the table.
Okay.
Because an IEP is written once.
Okay.
It is a working document, so it is ongoing and ever changing.
Okay.
As your students' needs change, the IEP is to change.
Okay. And when she says student, I'm going to say child. So as your child's needs changes, you need to come back to that table, is what I want you to get from this talk. Okay.
Because as you see, as your child needs, if you know that there's something that's in the IEP that's not working for your child, please come back. Let the teacher know, let the school know. It's an open dialogue.
Okay.
It's not a it's not a whipping board.
Exactly.
It's indeed a working document that's ever changing as long as the needs of the child are changing.
Now, as we close, can we tell people what the benefit is for that child? Give us like one or two things. The benefit of a parent coming back to the table, getting involved in this IEP process.
Well, I can use my own personal experience. I was one of those parents who felt my son knew everything and he could learn everything. But I had to change his IEP that suited him.
Yes.
I had to come back and take a less academic track and a more vocational track for him because that was better suited for him.
Okay.
So knowing your child and knowing your child's limitations and knowing what your child is successful at helps and coming back to the
and I think it makes the child more confident academically. It prepares them to go on to the workforce or college. And I don't think that parents know. Some kids are getting degrees that are diplomas that are not real diplomas.
And they're not, and it's not to their advantage.
Yes.
You have to know what is to the advantage of your child.
Yes. I think that's beautiful.
So, and I always say, I teach my children the way that they learn.
Yes.
And parents have to. You're the knowledge that gets your child to us.
Yes.
And we help your child get to where your child needs to be.
Beautifully said. Miss Robin Broadway, give her a hand. I'm definitely going to have you back to give us more information, but thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your knowledge, and I'll have you come back and we'll talk more about that education process for sure.
Thank you once again.
Thank you so much for watching. It's Life Changing.